I find that what's really challenging about the reduction woodcut technique, or woodcut in general, is endowing it with a sense of sweep and movement and rhythm. I've always loved drawing as a very direct means of expression, and I love drawing because of its immediacy, its very graphic and powerful quality. During all of my youth and up to the present, I've painted a great deal, but I did take time off from painting 13 years ago to involve myself primarily in this technique of the woodcut, particularly the multicolor reduction woodcut. What's wonderful about the printmaking medium is that it requires a great deal of discipline, and oftentimes you arrive at your image through a process. To draw an image on a wood block and to be able to cut that image and use the V-gouges and the U-gouges and the tools of the trade of the woodcut artist as a brush when I work, and using the tools as a brush, freeing up the medium of the woodcut so that it becomes something of light and air and has a great deal of movement. My original inspiration was derived from this drawing done on location. I then did a variation on this drawing, adding additional elements such as the vessels that you see below. Then I did a Xerox copy of that drawing, which I then used as a means of transferring the pencil drawing onto the block of wood. This is a pencil image which has been transferred to the wood but hasn't yet been emboldened with India ink or any additional drawing. I draw over the pencil lines in order to develop the lights and darks in the drawing so that I have a great deal of very graphic content to work from. It will endow the drawing with a vitality and a rhythm and density. I'm inspired by history a great deal. I love architecture. I love harbors. A great deal of my inspiration is derived from walks that I take, particularly along city streets, ideally located alongside of harbors and the ocean. I'm very, very inspired by the culture of the Northeast. I'm currently working on a design based on a very old photograph which I discovered of Vincent Cove in Gloucester, Massachusetts. It's a very busy cove, and it had ironworks and coal yards and fish dealers, and it was a very vital part of a working city. What I'm trying to do in this drawing is to bring back to life this part of the city and celebrate its existence. I'm printing with etching relief inks, and I've put various colors out onto the palette and mixed this very last dark. And the last dark color has to be a very beautiful color. It can't simply be a black. It has to be comprised of all the varieties of previous colors in the print, so that the entire print has one atmospheric effect. These are the succession of colors that I've printed in thus far. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to roll the ink on what remains of the reliefed areas of this woodcut. All the areas you see here have been previously cut out for all the various other colors. And everything depends on this final inking. All of the months of cutting and proofing and thinking all depends on this one last Application. These are registration points which I'm putting the paper onto. For that assures me that the paper will line up exactly the same place in the block every single time. That's how all of the colors line up and are registered. The stiffer board will ensure that the paper is not moved around by the roller under the pressure. Then I'll put my blankets down on top of the paper. My printing pressure has already been adjusted here. That raises, these screws raise and lower the pressure of the steel roller. Now I'm going to push the block through the etching press. The roller will crush the ink from the block onto the paper. I have to roll the block through continually without stopping, very evenly. I can feel the roller dropping off of the wood block right now. Now I'm going to let up on the pressure so I can pull the bed out without having it go through the roller again. And I'll very, very carefully peel the paper away from the wood block. I pull the paper off of the registration points. Let me take a look at the print. Okay, that looks fairly even. The pressure is very good. The print looks fine. The marriage between the sea and architecture, places by the sea that were built by people, is particularly attractive to me. In my imagery, there are not a great deal of figures. I do concentrate primarily on all of the evidence of people. Many of my woodcuts, I think, give one the feeling that within a moment, had they been there earlier, they would have seen all of the people. I'm celebrating my excitement and interest in my subject, and hopefully it will be of some interest to others.